And now it's my great pleasure to give the floor to our third briefer, Mrs. Charlotte Scaddan, Senior Advisor on Information Integrity of the UN Department of Global Communications. You have the floor. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Ambassador Sekaris, for chairing this meeting, and to all of the member state organizers. It's an honor to join my fellow panelists, albeit virtually, and I thank them for their expert interventions. I welcome this opportunity to highlight AI's impact on information integrity and the implications for international peace and security, and to share practical responses to the challenges we face. AI technologies have had an undeniable impact on the information landscape. If deployed responsibly, they can facilitate access to accurate, reliable information, foster free expression, and contribute to healthy and vibrant information ecosystems. But how do we make this vision a reality, given the many challenges before us, many of which were just outlined by our previous speakers? What concrete steps can we take as the UN and as an international community? In the AI High-Level Advisory Body's Governing AI for Humanity report, experts ranked damage to information integrity as a top risk concern. Before turning to solutions, I would like to elaborate on two risk areas. The first is being much discussed around the world as technology companies continue to integrate AI into our everyday applications at breakneck speed. It is the role of AI and Gen AI in curating and creating information, and people's growing reliance on this technology to shape their understanding of the world. At present, Gen AI tools are proliferating in the public domain, but cannot uniformly be relied on as sources of accurate information. Ongoing studies and testing show that they frequently do not distinguish between rigorous science on the one hand and dirty data or outright nonsense on the other. And yet, people are increasingly accessing this convenient and flawed data without being equipped to assess its veracity or reliability, which can contribute to a deeply concerning trend: the lack of trust in any information source and in the information ecosystem more broadly, as people just don't know what is real and what to believe. At pivotal societal moments, and especially in fragile settings, this can contribute to instability and unrest, sometimes with disastrous consequences. We are, in effect, guinea pigs in an information experiment in which the resilience of our societies is being put to the test. The second risk area is one where the UN's work is being adversely affected: the misuse of AI in facilitating the creation and dissemination of false and hateful information at scale, which can affect the peace and security of communities and countries. Gen AI tools have made it immeasurably easier for a broad range of actors to spread false claims for financial or strategic gain. It now costs next to nothing to quickly and easily create a flood of convincing lies and hate with minor human intervention. To target specific groups and individuals, actors draw on personal data, our personal data, that has been sold as part of the advertising supply chain. Tactics like this can trigger diplomatic crises, incite unrest, and undermine understanding of realities on the ground. We've seen AI-generated deepfake images, audio, and video weaponized in conflicts, from Ukraine to Gaza to Sudan, circulating across digital platforms. We're also now seeing AI used openly and explicitly to generate content designed to undermine social cohesion. Content that demonizes or dehumanizes women, refugees, migrants, and minorities. Content that is anti-Semitic, Islamophobic, racist, and xenophobic. The United Nations has experienced grave impacts on our missions and our priorities. Peace and humanitarian operations are targeted with false and hateful narratives, negatively affecting the safety and security of UN personnel and making the task of implementing their mandates harder. In turn, this is impacting communities small and large, jeopardizing their stability. Let me now turn to some of the concrete steps needed to address these areas of risk. The UN system has been coordinating and working together to ramp up our efforts. This includes what we call the 3R approach: research, risk assessment, and response. Through research, we can better understand information risks in complex, multi-platform, multilingual environments. Our work includes outreach with affected communities to hear and understand their perceptions and concerns. UN entities then assess the risk posed to UN mandate delivery and thematic priorities, including for safety and security. We use this insight to design appropriate mitigation and response measures. Most immediately, this means quick and proactive communication to address information voids across widespread on- and offline spaces. This can be done through our own channels and also via coalitions with community leaders, influencers, and civil society groups. Partnering with trusted voices is invaluable in engaging people with factual, life-saving information in spaces the UN may have a harder time reaching. Of course, these efforts require resources, including for skills training and technology, as we ourselves harness AI tools as part of our response. We also continue to support the efforts of the international community, including through our work to implement the UN Global Principles for Information Integrity. Launched by the Secretary-General in June last year, the principles provide a framework for action to strengthen the information ecosystem and offer a resource to member states in meeting the commitments agreed in the Global Digital Compact. The principles contain recommendations for a wide range of stakeholders around 5 pillars: societal trust and resilience, healthy incentives, public empowerment, independent, free and pluralistic media, and transparency and research. I'd like to highlight 3 key recommendation areas. Firstly, states play a central role in shaping information spaces, beginning with obligations to respect, promote, and protect human rights, in particular, the right to freedom of expression. This means that regulatory measures to address information integrity comply with applicable international law and are carried out with the full participation of civil society. Freedom of expression requires not only that people are able to express their views, but that they are able to seek and receive ideas and information of all kinds. It is exponentially harder to do this when you're in a polarized, opaque information environment crowded with lies and hate. In such a landscape, guardrails allow for more free speech, not less, and protect people who feel unsafe in online spaces, giving voice to those otherwise silenced. Guardrails can help enable inclusive access to information, and they can support and encourage innovation and help foster public trust in fast-emerging AI technologies. There is growing awareness among the communities we serve that the sooner guardrails are established, the less risk for us all. Secondly, information integrity is not possible without a free, independent, and pluralistic media. Professional journalism requires considerable investment, yet the advertising-driven business model, which long supported independent media, has drastically eroded. AI has prompted new concerns. Quality journalism is being scraped and summarized or used to train AI without permission or compensation. Gen AI search summaries replacing standard search results can reduce web traffic to news sites, further affecting revenue streams. Many news outlets, particularly at the local level, just can't compete. For them, it's not just a matter of relevance, it's a matter of survival. The result is news deserts. The vacuum is filled by AI-generated articles or downgraded versions of journalistic content or malicious content imitating news. This can be particularly destabilizing in conflict and crisis zones. Responses must therefore urgently support sustainable business models for public interest media. They must also ensure better protection for media workers, along with researchers, academics, and civil society who are under attack around the world. Thirdly, there is an urgent global need for public empowerment in the information ecosystem, including through measures to boost resilience, through formal and informal education, to ensure media and digital literacy skills that allow people to navigate information spaces safely and effectively. States can prioritize the literacy needs of groups in vulnerable and marginalized situations, who are often those most adversely affected by information risks. And they can undertake literacy efforts around specific problems related to AI, keeping up with new and emerging technologies. Public awareness must improve around online rights, how AI works, and how personal data is used. These are some of the responses we are pursuing. No actor can achieve this vision alone, and it's clear that a multifaceted approach is critical. The urgency of the challenge requires multi-stakeholder coalitions with collaborations between countries to support capacity building and increase global resilience. This is the only viable path to an information ecosystem in which AI innovation is harnessed for information integrity, human rights, and international peace and security. Thank you.
I would like to warmly thank Mrs. Scaddan for her very interesting presentation and to praise in her name the Department of Global Communication for all the efforts they have undertaken in the artificial intelligence domain.